To start with a presentation, of course, to give the thanks, the lovely thanks to invite me to this presentation. I think that all of us, we are speaking a lot about our physicians and pharmacists, that they need to share knowledge within congresses and everything, but what about us? Then I think this kind of congresses, of this kind of meetings are very interesting, because we think that normally at the past, the pharma industry doesn't share knowledge between the rest of companies. For instance, in Spain, we have the opportunity, all the digital responsibles of Spain, we have a group where we share the best practice, where we share our barriers, where we share everything, because we believe that at this moment, digital is something that is going to happen in the future, but nobody knows anything about digital, and this is very important. Everybody wants to do a lot, but at this moment there is any expert in digital, and this is very important. Then the best option is to share our best practice, to share how we can do it, and today we are going to try to put on the table and to share with all of you what we are doing in Sanofi. Then we have divided the presentation in 3 different parts. The first part, we are going to speak now about why we need to engage our customers through our product promotion through the digital channels. I'm going to explain why we need to do it, what we are doing to engage our customers with our product promotion, and finally, some suggestions that we want to share with all of you about what we are learning in the way how we are doing. Okay? And this is the aim of my presentation, to explain these 3 parts. Then, why? The current scenario, I don't discover anything special, but what is clear, the pharmaceutical expenditure is something that decreases. The government wants to decrease our incomes. Secondly, the patent cliff. I think that all of the big companies are suffering from the patent cliff. Third, we have more and more high barriers to enter to the market. Another important point, what about the stakeholders? At least in Spain and Portugal are changing always. We don't know which are the correct or the right rules in our sector. Then everything is changing. We don't know if it's the physician who takes the decisions, the pharmacy who takes the decision, is the government. Every day is changing everything. Then in this situation, what happened in our companies? The marketing budget is reducing, and the most of our sales is starting to come from base business or from the mature products. And these mature products, the problem that they have, that we are eliminating the sales force behind these products. Then we need to discover some new rules to promote our products. Then, a question for all of you. Is the pushing strategies, that is a typical activity that the pharma companies do, the best that we can do it? We need to impose what we need to talk, or we need to start to think what our customer wants. Secondly, promoting our products means only talk about the benefits of our products. It's real what our customers want. We go to the visit and we speak only about the benefits of our product, but never we ask the rest of our customers what they need. And we need the real needs of our customers. These needs are covered. These are questions that maybe there are some of us that we want to find a solution. And I think that at this moment, to engage the customers, we start to become more pull strategies, because we need to think about the real needs that our customers has. Then, how pharma industry can build engagement with our customers? It's very easy. We need to offer what they really need. It's very easy. How we can do it? Customer intelligence. We need to ask them what they want. And digital channel is a perfect channel to capture information from the field. If our reps has iPads, it's not only to talk about what we want, it's to try to capture information from the field to the rest of people who are trying to define the strategy of our companies. Then the customer intelligence is very, very important to try to make the engagement with our customers. when we define our strategies, we take into considerations what our patients need, what physicians, our authorities and the pharmacists need, or we only believe in pharma industry. This is very important. We cannot define any material for the physicians to develop for the patients without taking in consideration what are the real needs of the patients. The patient doesn't want data. Later we have been talking with my colleagues from Netherlands, and they say that yesterday a patient said, I'm not interested in the data, I'm interested in having quality of life. This is my interest. Then why the pharma companies doesn't believe that this is the best thing that you can offer? Then we have explained how we can engage and why digital. Because at this moment, digital can achieve everything. Then what we need to do is to think that digital is part of our company. People have digital in their life. This is something that everybody knows. This is a wave that we cannot stop. We need to do something because digital is part of the population life. And they are changing their lifestyle through the digital. Very important, the mobile. What happened? There are three things that all of these people that are in this room doesn't never forget when you leave. The keys of your home to close, the money, and the mobile. Have you suffered one day without mobile? It's horrible. It's the same for our physicians and pharmacists. They enjoy with their mobile. Then, this is a channel always open with our customers. Then it's something that we need to think about it. The healthcare professionals, during these last presentations, this is something that we are going to repeat. The professionals are using more and more the digital tools. This is something that is clear. We cannot forget. Sometimes we say, we don't go with the iPad to the visit because my physician doesn't want. It's not true. The most of our reps, of our physicians, has iPads. Why they are not interested in receiving visits in iPad? And what happened in the future? The new generation of physicians are heavy users. The residents of now, who are giving the power on the future, they are using the channels. And they are using multi-channels. Then this is something that we need to take profit. And for me, and before entering the second part, this is the best part, the most important part, why the pharma industry must need to take the digital in their strategy. Because our health system that we have now, at least in Europe, is not sustainable. Why? Because in the next years, the number of chronic patients is going to increase and increase and increase and increase. And at least in Spain and Portugal, the system is not possible to maintain in the same level of quality. Then, why not we use the digital tools to make more efficiency our health systems? Telemedicine, telediagnosis, a lot of digital tools could help us to make more efficiency our health system. Then, the pharma industry must help the authorities to make more efficiency the health systems. And how? I would like to explain here two good examples that say how the pharma industry must do everything. We need to put our human intelligence in the technology. This is a stick. It's like a sensor for babies. This is a product that I saw on the internet. I cannot buy, but it's incredible. It's a sensor. Then you put to the baby, and when the baby increases more than 39 degrees, you receive an SMS saying that your children has fever. You are sleeping and you are very quiet because you know that someone is helping you. Someone is the technology that has human intelligence. And this is how the pharma industry must use the digital tools. Then, second part, what we are doing in Sanofi to create engagement with our customers. First point, and this is very important, digital is not only a promotional channel. It's part of our value proposal. I'm going to put two clear examples from the pharma industry. This is from Sanofi. Sanofi, we have the leader insulin for diabetes type 1. We launched 2 years ago the IBG Star. This This IBG Star is a tool that you put in the iPhone to measure your glucose levels. We are incorporating the technology to the glucose tester measure. And not only you have the opportunity that your iPhone is your glucose tester, but also we create a telemedicine to upload the information from the iPhone to the telemedicine for your doctors. Then your doctors can control from their hospital what are your level of glucose. This is something how we can incorporate digital in our value proposal. And this is the future. We are not only a companies that must offer pills. Another good example, multiple sclerosis. There are a lot of companies who are developing a lot of pills for multiple sclerosis, and this is a good example. This is a company in Spain is offering this Kinect technology to improve the physical conditions of the multiple sclerosis patients, because the patients need the drug not to advance in their pathologies, but they need to improve their conditions. Then why not the companies, the pharma company can offer this kind of services. Then, what we are doing to engage? Of course, to incorporate it in our value proposal. Secondly, in the promotion, what we can do in the promotion? For me, the iPad is the best tool to engage our customers. Why? Because we can do the visit more personalized. When you arrive to the visit, you say, about what you are interested, doctor. He push the 3 answers that you have, and then you can make the promotion depending on what they need, not depending on what we want to do. Okay? Second, because we can monitoring what is happening with our materials. Then we can offer in the future the best solutions that our physicians want. And finally, the iPad is the best way to communicate complex concepts, because normally the training level of our reps is not the higher. Normally when you launch a new drug in oncology therapy, for instance, you don't have the enough level to explain to the oncologists what are the benefits of our drugs. If you have the iPad, you can offer, for instance, an oncologist's vision of some other oncologists in a video. This is the best way to engage, because we are offering the level of the doctor that they want. Secondly, other examples. This is not from Sanofi. This is from Novartis in Spain. This is an app for the smartphone of our physicians. When Novartis launched linagliptin in Spain, they launched this interesting application. This application has all the new studies that they are publishing with this new drug. The doctor receives, when you publish a new study, the doctor receives directly in their smartphone. This is something that you are entering in the life of the physician. Of course, we are speaking about a lot of channels, and we need to be all coordinator. Other things that we can engage in the product promotion. We invest a lot of money in training programs. And now it's very modern to use online training programs. But all of our doctors follow the course until the end. We lose a lot of people. They enter, they start the course, and finally we lose. This is a good example. This is not from Sanofi. This is from a Spanish company. They are introducing the gamification in the training programs. This is very interesting, because this is useful, because people are competing to finish the online training program. This is something that engages our customers, and this is very useful. More examples. If we provide added value services to our doctors, we can increase the engagement. I'm going to show some examples. Maybe this is one of the most known digital projects for Iberia. This is a training program whose name is Campus Sanofi. When we reach to the market with our digital strategy, we find that the level of digital knowledge of our doctors are not the need that we need, the level needed to offer some initiative in the digital channel. Then we create a training program where we teach them how they can use the digital tools in their professional activity. They explain them how they can use, for instance, Facebook to communicate with patients. We teach them how they can be updated in their level of interest in Twitter or in other RSS services. We teach them how they can use the digital tools in their professional activity to reach their benefits. Other example about services that engage customers. This is a platform. This is something that we launched the last month in Spain. In Spain, only the 9% of pharmacies at the pharmacist's office has presence in internet, or through Facebook or through their own websites. We have created the one-on-one platform. Do you know what is one-on-one? It's a platform where the pharmacists can create their own website through a Sanofi platform. Then, there is no any excuse for a pharmacist not to have a website to offer their service. And this is a platform that we have created in Spain. It's a free service that creates a lot of engagement because your digital presence is controlled by us. We are giving the best service that you need. Another interesting example. This is an application for our heparin. Our heparin has a product specification that is crazy. It's completely impossible to understand anything. Depending on the indication, depending on the patient, depending on the sex, depending on a lot of factors, you need to know what is the dose, the optimal dose for your patient. We have created an application to facilitate the decisions of the doctor. Then, depending on the risk factors of the doctor, the application say this is the optimal dose for these patients. And this is something that engages our doctors because you are giving solutions for their daily practice. Social network. This is something that in Spain, Spain is the second European country in the use of social network. I don't know why, because we have enough time, I don't know. But what it's clear that the social network is working. And we have launched, for instance, in Spain, some social networks with some specific targets, and people are engaged to sharing knowledge with the rest of their colleagues. And this is something that generates engagement. And finally, how we can create engagement with our customers, giving more services to their patients. Here are some examples. This is an application, very easy, that allows to the patients to remember when they need to take their drug. An easy application. I'm sure that there are a lot of in your country. A very interesting example. Fibrosis cystic. I don't know if this is the way. This is an Spanglish word. Sorry. It's a yeah. That's cystic fibrosis. Cystic.
Yeah.
Okay. A children who has cystic fibrosis need to make every day exercise. This is completely boring for our children. Normally they need to go to the hospital to assure that they are doing this kind of exercise. There is an hospital in Spain who has created this game. It's a game for the Xbox that through this tool they can play with a game doing exercise. This is the best engagement for the patients. The children enjoy to make this kind of exercise. This is what the pharma company must think about it. Expert patients. It's demonstrated that if a chronic patient has training on their pathologies, consume in a better way the health services. Then, for instance, in Spain, we have a training program for diabetes patients through webinars where they can ask questions to endocrinologists or to nurseries or to other stakeholders. Then, we believe that we not only must offer insulin, we must offer training program for our patients, always through the healthcare professionals. This is another good example. This is the typical example of engagement with the patients. We are thinking always, when we thought in oncology, we are thinking about the benefits, the safety, but nobody thinks about the worry of the women. They lose their hair. This is a website done by a patients association where they give suggestions how you must put every day when you go out when you have the problems with the chemotherapy. Then this is an engaged service that you can offer. Then, finally, to finish my presentation, have 5 minutes more. As I said in the beginning, this is a wave. There is no other option. There is no other options. How we can do it? And first point, entering, starting to do a lot of things in digital, but we need a plan. And not all of our companies has a plan. We need a plan because what we want to do with digital, this is something that the companies need to think about it. It's not a question to make a website without any sense. We need to define a plan with an objective, with the strategies, and of course to take a lot of risk. You need to do pilots and you need to not only to think, you need to do. It's completely needed. If in digital you are thinking, when you are going to launch, it's too late. Everything is changing very fast. Then we need to take risks and we need to do and of course to learn. There is no one who can say that they don't do any mistake in the digital world. It's completely sure that you are going to make a lot of mistakes, but you need to learn. Technology is not the most important. The important is the benefit. As I said in the beginning, we need to give to the technologies the human intelligence. And this is very important. If the IT department, sorry if there is someone from the IT department, say that this is not possible, it's not true. The technology allows to do everything. But it's not the technology the leader, it's the benefit is the leader. Okay? You need to know your customer. I'm going to show a very clear example about what I'm saying here. You cannot launch a digital tool in a world where our customer is not there. You cannot launch a Twitter account if your physicians are not in Twitter. First, create a Twitter training, try to capture people in Twitter, and later you launch. This is a good example, and this is the typical mistake from me. Then everybody makes mistakes. We launch a website for young diabetes type 1. Incredible. A lot of contents, a lot of videos, attractive. We make a market research with young diabetes type 1. Do you like this content? Yes, I love. This is very interesting. It's completely adapted to me. But what happened? There is no any young person who goes to a website. They are on social network. Then this is not the channel. The channel is in social network. Then we create the one. Who is the one? The one is a person who has diabetes type 1, who has created a video blog, and they are making training program through a video blog. Because young people are in a video blog, it's not in a website. And this is something how you can adapt the benefits that you are looking for to engage your customers in the channels where they are, not where do you want to go. Okay? And what happened with our reps? They are going to disappear. We are going to invite an avatar. If they are doing only push strategies, maybe someone is going to take them and put an avatar. Because you are not offering. You are only repeating what the marketing department is saying to you. They must be the leader in the implementation of the digital tools. It's not possible that when you make a mailing campaign, it's coming from the staff. The mailing campaign must be centralized by the reps, and he is the leader in the implementation of all the multi-channels approach. Another important point, I'm finishing. If you want to develop a digital strategy, you need the support of our executive committee. It's completely needed. Because there is here a formula that someone is claiming someday that say, if you want to be innovative in digital, you need talent. I think that in this room there are a lot of talent to do it, but you need time. Our company is giving us time. We need budget. All of the digital strategies managers in this group has their own budget. It's not typical. The budget is in the marketing side. And culture. If the rest of your colleagues doesn't believe that digital is good, it's completely impossible to do anything. Then it's important to receive the support of your company. And what about the ROI? This is the typical question that the marketing people ask. No, it's not possible because the ROI is not demonstrated. Yes, it's true. We need to think about the ROI, and we need to try to convince them about the ROI. But there are other things that we need to measure. What about the reputation? Someone asked about Campus Sanofi. In Campus Sanofi, we have 13,000 physicians in Spain who are following Campus Sanofi. And people from marketing say, what about the ROI? And what about the reputation? And what about the engagement? And what about the access to new stakeholders? And what about, maybe this is the worst things to convince them, the cost savings? This is something that when we speak about ROI, we need to think also about that. And finally, my last slide. Please look other markets, look other industries. This is the evolution of the music industry in the last 15 years. From the disco, cassette, CD, emule, Spotify now. And now, on YouTube, you can see a free concert. Then they continue earning a lot of money. They can transform their sector. Why not we can transform our sector? That's all, folks. Thanks a lot.
Well, one thing you said that I think has been resonating is that people don't leave home without their wallet, keys and mobile. So someone's come up with a great idea. Why doesn't the industry create branded key rings? Is that a good idea?
Yeah, why not? Yeah. No, that's true. That's true.
Xavier, you talked about adding value to the proposition by using technology. Should that be funded? How should that be? The cost of that be covered? Should it be part of the corporate social responsibility budget? Should you be changing the pricing model for how you work with healthcare providers? What's the way to fund this?
Yeah, I can speak about our example of the telemedicine. At least in Spain, with the telemedicines we are offering as a free. And this is the marketing people who invest in this telemedicine because they want to improve the management of their patients. This is the ROI of the telemedicine. But there are some changes in the public system that maybe in the future the telemedicine visits is going to be reimbursed by the government. But at this moment, no. But it's something that you need to
long term.
Yeah.
So can I ask a question about the Internet of Things and how you think that's going to pan out for diabetics? So we're seeing connected glucometers, for example. How do you think that's going to have a bearing on your market going forward?
I don't understand your question.
So the Internet of Things. So
I'm Spanglish. Sorry.
Yeah. So things like your glucometer, if you're a diabetic patient, being connected to the Internet, so automatically. Populating
completely.
Your EHR.
Yes, because the IBG star is connected with the...
Absolutely.
Yeah.
How do you think the bearing that's going to have in a wider market? Do you think that, for example, in 5-10 years' time, you'll have no such thing as an unconnected glucometer? What's your opinion from the early work you've done with IBG Star?
Yes, maybe. I'm sure that if the technologies continue advancing and the patients is advancing in incorporating new technologies, of course. I think I'm sure that the patient is going to believe in that. There are some, for instance, there are some platforms for patients where you can put your data to share with the rest of the patients. Then I don't know. But at this moment, I think that people are not worried about the data. It's worried about their quality of life. Then they are going to do as much as possible to improve their quality of life.
Are you releasing any data on market adoption, for example, of the IBG Star in Europe yet? Have you done anything on that? Sorry, I'm speaking a bit too quickly.
Yeah.
Are you releasing any data points, how adoption's going for IBG Star in Europe?
No, I don't have any data about that. At this moment, I don't have any data.
Is it with patients in the UK already, for example?
Probably.
But pilot or...
Sounds like you two need to catch up over lunch.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
Good. Thank you. Any last questions? Well, thank you very much, Xavier. That's been really fascinating. Thank you.